morning, everybody. It's a beautiful day for this wonderful event. It is my pleasure to introduce our commencement speaker, Mr. Kristopher Jones. Mr. Jones is founder of KBG Capital, an early-stage technology investment fund and incubator. Additionally, he's a serial entrepreneur, a best-selling author, angel investor, and public speaker. As founder and former president and CEO of Pepperjam, a full-service internet marketing agency, he has been quoted in over 50 publications and has received many recognitions for his accomplishments. Mr. Jones received a Bachelor of Arts from the Pennsylvania State University, a Master's of Science from Villanova University, and a Juris Doctorate from Albany Law School. Active in civic affairs, Mr. Jones and his wife Robin were awarded the 2014 Community Philanthropist Award by the Volunteers of America. They reside in Sheraton with their 3 children. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Jones.
Thank you, Ollie. Appreciate that. Good morning, Penn State University.
Good morning.
Please allow me to offer special thanks to Chancellor Davis and the Penn State University community, including the Board of Advisors, faculty, administration, and invited dignitaries and guests. To the parents, grandparents, brothers, sisters, guardians, friends, and significant others of today's graduates. You are a primary reason that each of today's graduates believed in their potential for today to become a reality. You provided the encouragement, the strength, and most importantly, the unconditional love and support that was necessary for this great day to happen. And to the class of 2015, congratulations, because today is an incredible day. As a 1998 graduate of Penn State University, I know the power and the privilege of graduating from one of the nation's finest institutions. I'm truly humbled to deliver today's commencement address. However, to kick things off, I should probably establish a few credentials. Granted, I've been a high achiever from a very young age, but why should you guys be listening to me today in the first place? Yes, as Allie highlighted, I built a business in northeastern Pennsylvania called Pepperjam, and I sold that company to eBay. Not gonna lie, that did not suck. Despite my success, I think there are a few credentials that Allie did leave out, he omitted from my resume. For instance, as an undergraduate student at Penn State, I drove a beat-up, cream-colored 1983 Volvo DL. At one point, I was driving to State College in a horrible snowstorm, and my windshield wipers stopped working. To make matters worse, I was only about halfway there. I'm not going to lie, that sucked. One other thing about that untrustworthy Volvo is that the car had major issues with the alternator, making it a real crapshoot on a daily basis whether or not the car would actually start. I'll never forget. It was the final day of my junior year at Penn State, and my roommate and I packed up the Volvo to head home to northeastern Pennsylvania for summer break. I think you'll agree that there are few better things in life than the excitement and the positive energy that surrounds the last day of the school year. The problem for me on that fateful day was that my good old, dirty, stinking, cream-colored 1983 Volvo DL wouldn't start. Yep, that also sucked. By a show of hands, how many of you can recall stories over the last 4 or 5 years at Penn State that just plain out sucked? Okay. If you read my biography, or listened to what Ollie said, you'll see that I've been quite the high achiever since graduating from Penn State. And yes, I'm here to tell you, I'm guilty as charged. I am a high achiever. I've authored 3 books that have sold enough copies to just about sell out Theater Stadium. I've won countless awards. I've been on TV. I've written articles for Forbes, Inc. magazine, Fast Company, and TechCrunch. And I've even been quoted in the Wall Street Journal. My wife Robin and I have given more of our time and money to charitable causes than most people. So what does me being a lifelong achiever, high achiever, and driving a ratty-tat-tat cream-colored Volvo DL have to do with the significance of this day for you as a college graduate? If you guys don't mind, I'd like to share a short story with you. So picture this. I'm 14 years old, and I'm chilling out with my best friend Brian Drew, listening to music in his bedroom. Brian and I are both wearing big, bulky headphones and listening to Metallica's Enter Sandman. If my memory serves me correctly, Brian was playing the air guitar, and I believe I was playing the air drums. I mean, we were really jamming out when Brian's dad, Dr. Drew, came into the bedroom and gestured for Brian to turn down the music and take off the headphones. You could tell that Brian's dad really meant business. Dr. Drew was holding a somewhat large box of audio tapes and proceeded to say to both of us, "Have you guys ever heard of Tony Robbins?" Of course, at the ripe age of 14, both of us were like, nope, never heard of him. But Dr. Drew proceeded to tell us that Tony Robbins was a personal development coach, and that it would be a better use of our summer break to listen to Tony Robbins' personal power audio cassettes for 30 days than simply killing time listening to music and watching TV. Dr. Drew went on to tell us that these so-called personal power tapes not only helped him to earn enough money to put an in-ground swimming pool in the backyard and a beautiful addition onto their already beautiful 40-fort home, but also that these tapes helped millions of people unlock potential that they didn't even know they had. Even though this story I'm telling you is from 25 years ago, I remember Brian's response like it was yesterday. "Dad, leave the tapes over there and get out of the room." Not surprisingly, Brian and I went back to listening to music, and shortly thereafter, we probably went outside, tossed the football around, and took a dip in the pool. At that age, right, we didn't have a care in the world, but in the back of my head was this burning curiosity about those audio tapes. I thought to myself, who is this Tony Robbins guy anyway? I wondered, what if there was something on those audio tapes that could help me become successful? I think you can probably guess the punchline of the story. I listened to the audio tapes, all 30 days. In all truth, it probably took me closer to 60 days, and I skipped over a few tapes that were just over my head at that age. But what I did listen to changed my life forever. Since listening to those tapes 25 years ago, I've spent a great deal of my life dedicated to personal and professional development. In fact, I've been to 17 live Tony Robbins conferences, and I've walked on fire 6 times. If you don't know what it's like to walk on fire, you should Google it. It will change your life forever, and it's one of the things you should add to your bucket list before you turn 30. I've read nearly 100 books by the likes of Napoleon Hill, Stephen Covey, Dale Carnegie, Deepak Chopra, David Schwartz, Tony Robbins, and many others. And despite the extensive education I have received and the countless lessons I've learned throughout life, the greatest lesson came when I was 14 years old and listened to Tony Robbins for the very first time. The distinction I learned about life and success at such a young age has made more of a difference on the successes I've achieved than anything else I've learned since. Graduates, if you'd like to hear that single distinction that I learned from Tony Robbins that changed my life forever, please say yes. Thank you. The lesson that I learned is that everything we need to become as successful as we want to be, to accomplish anything we desire, is within us right now. It doesn't matter how much money you or your family currently have in the bank. It matters very little if you were born into a prominent family of doctors or lawyers, or for that matter, whether you are or are not the first person in your family to receive a college degree. And no matter whatever perceived limitation, I'm here to tell you, it just doesn't matter. What matters most is a belief within yourself that you have everything you need right now to take the first step toward whatever it is that you want in life. You can achieve anything you want as long as you believe and you don't make excuses why you can't. Henry Ford said, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. Having grown up poor to a single mom who worked incredibly hard to keep the lights on and make sure there was food on the table, I felt like I had a choice. On the one hand, I could make excuses for why certain things were outside of reach, why I didn't have what it takes to be successful. On the other hand, I learned from listening to those Tony Robbins audio cassettes that the only limitations on how successful I could become would be self-imposed. This simple distinction changed my life forever, and it can change your life too if you embrace it from this day forward. The first step on the road to success is a belief that you are capable of achieving anything you put your mind to. The fact that each of you are sitting here today about to get awarded a degree from one of the finest educational institutions in America all started with the belief in yourself that today was possible. All success starts with the belief that you are capable of achieving your desired outcome. As you sit here today on this momentous occasion, surrounded by friends and family, I encourage you to dream big. Today is the start of a new chapter in your life. Your life is worth dreaming big. You deserve it. Everything you need to take the first step is within you right now. By a show of hands, how many of you guys can think of at least one life-changing goal that you will commit to right now? Maybe you'd like to compete in the New York City Marathon. Maybe you'd like to publish a book, lose 75 pounds within the next 18 months, earn enough money in the next 12 months to buy a Mercedes or maybe a Tesla, reduce your cholesterol by 25%, get a PhD or an MBA or both, maybe start your own business, maybe sell that business to Facebook. Shit, while you're at it, sell one business to Facebook, build another one, and sell it to Google. Dream big. Who you become is 100% up to you. This is your destiny to claim. Say yes to yourself if you are willing to commit to at least one goal that can change your life forever. Maybe your goal is to star in your very own TV show, become a millionaire and pay off all your school debt by the time you're 40 years old. Maybe you want to buy mom and dad a home. Stop smoking forever. Start going to church at least one time a week. Join the Peace Corps. What you can accomplish if you believe in yourself, remove all the limiting beliefs, and commit to not giving up is endless. Get clear about what you'd like to accomplish and then make sure that you set your expectations for success. Simply desiring something, saying you want it, isn't enough. You've got to build as much leverage as possible, and the secret to building unstoppable leverage is to make sure that you are absolutely clear on your outcome. Set your expectations for success and make sure you fully believe that everything you need to take that first step toward your destiny is within you right now. You don't have to wait. I didn't wait, and you shouldn't either. Raise your hand right now if you are willing to commit to telling yourself stories of why you can achieve something, not why you can't. Be aware of those expectations. Write down exactly what you want and take the first step as soon as possible without absolute certainty in your outcome. I'm not one of those people who simply believes, think positive thoughts and everything will work out as planned. For me, that's not how it all went down. For one thing, you are going to have to work really, really, really hard to achieve your wildest dreams. Hard work is assumed if you want to accomplish anything great. In addition, while thinking positive is incredibly powerful, the reality is that life doesn't always seem fair. On the road to success, you will face obstacles and challenges that will be overwhelming and feel unfair. During times of hardship, you will want to make up reasons why circumstances have now changed, and you no longer have what it takes to achieve something. In his 2012 commencement address to Syracuse University, Aaron Sorkin stated that it doesn't matter how many times you get knocked down, as long as it's one fewer than the number of times you've gotten back up. You just can't give up when things seem unfair or the going gets tough. You've got to stay the course. I can tell you from my own personal experience that just when you think you've hit a brick wall and you feel that you simply don't have any gas left in the tank, victory is near. Here's why. People quit prematurely all the time. I often use the metaphor of how most of us are when we go to the gym to work out. The way it typically works is we get to the gym and start working out, and as soon as we start sweating, we wipe the sweat off and we say to ourselves, boy, that was a good workout. The problem is that muscle is built and fat is burned after you start sweating, not before. Success in life is the same exact way. Just when you think things are unfair and you've worked as hard as you can, there's a tendency to slow down or stop. I'm sure a number of you felt this way at the beginning of your final year at Penn State, or even more recently during your final semester. You thought, how am I ever going to get through this? However, today is a testament that you will enjoy more victories, accomplish more goals, and achieve more dreams by simply playing by different rules than most people around you. So as my commencement speech comes to a close and you are moments away from getting your college degree, let's all use this final moment to reflect on what today is all about. Today represents one of the greatest accomplishments of your life. You came to Penn State believing that you had what it takes to become a graduate. You worked hard and almost certainly had to overcome setbacks. Today, you made your reality true. Like today, and from this day forward, who you become, what you accomplish, and the difference you make in this world will depend upon a belief in yourself that you have everything you need inside you right now to take action and accomplish anything. Congratulations, and thank you for allowing me to challenge you to believe in yourself and unlock your personal power. Thank you.
Chris, if I could ask you